time, lift that leg up and reach back through all 10 toes, really. Extend the inner groin to the inner heel. So lift that leg, extend the frontal thigh to the knee, and then take that foot down, and then change over, take the left leg up, reach back, tighten the knee, and as you reach back, make that inner leg long, and then when you put that foot down, roll the thigh from inside out. Okay, Ekapada Bakasana, so come up onto your left forearm. Now don't twist to do this pose. So there's a little bit of a turn in the upper body, but really minimize any twisting. Keep both frontal hips down. Bend up your right leg and just don't even hold the foot yet. Bend up that right leg and extend. Can you even slide that right knee away from your head? So you extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. So this extension and length from the frontal thigh to the knee, this comes into a lot of poses. Think about what other poses do we do this? And then reach back, hold on to the inner foot, keep the outer hip to outer knee alignment, and then you're going to bend your elbow. That elbow points towards your spine, towards the middle body, and then you're going to turn that elbow up to the ceiling. If you can, get the heel of the hand on the toes, elbow up, so it's like a Chaturanga Dandasana arm. Head up, chest forward, lift up bottom sternum to top sternum. Work to get that heel on the outer buttock and extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. So those front thighs become longer. And the more that we do get these front thighs to lengthen, the groins to open, the thoracic spine to move, then the less burden we'll be placing on that lumbar spine and on that more flexible part of the back. And then release, change over. Left leg. So hold on to the inner foot. Keep the outer hip to outer knee alignment. And then that elbow bends, it comes in towards the spine, it turns up to the ceiling. Heel in line with the outer buttock, so heel touching the outer buttock. Press, use the heel of your hand to press the toe mounds down, and then extend from the frontal thighs to the knees. Chest up, upper back in. Okay, and then release. Right side. And go ahead and come into the pose. I'm not going to give you all the instructions here. You know what to do. But do keep the head up, thoracic spine in, frontal hips down. Extend as you draw that heel down. Extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. And then release, left side. Outer hip to outer knee alignment. Don't twist. Thoracic spine in. Lift the chest. Okay, release. Straighten the legs out. Fold the arms. Rest the head in the backs of your hands. Take one leg at a time and extend that leg out. Roll the thigh inside out. And at the same time, extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. So make those frontal thighs longer. Okay, Dhanurasana. Bend your knees. Now, with the knees bent, before you go back to clasp your ankles, with the knees bent, just lift up one thigh at a time. So the hamstring draws into the buttock and you're extending from the frontal thigh to the knee. So pick that leg up and put it down. And then pick the other leg up. Extend frontal thigh to the knee. Tuck that hamstring into the buttock. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Reach back. Hold the front ankles. Now, don't let those heels wander in. So inner ankle to outer ankle. Keep the integrity of the feet. Inner ankle to outer ankle. Inner heel to outer heel. And then grip where the hamstring meets the buttocks. Grip. And then lift those legs up in the air. Lift the legs up. Chest up. Toenails up to the ceiling. I want to see your thighs lift up off the floor. So where the hamstrings meet the buttock. Grip there. Lift there. Okay, release. Go ahead and release. Okay, let us take a little bit of support underneath the knees. So in Dhanurasana, we want those thighs to get up. So not a big support. Let's just take like a tri-folded blanket. So, you know, ultimately in Dhanurasana, you want the knees to be in the same line with the shoulders. So let's take a tri-folded blanket underneath the knees, and then we'll repeat. So to encourage these legs to come up a little bit. So you will grab hold of those ankles, inner heel to outer heel, chest up, and then where the hamstrings meets the buttocks, you grip and you lift there. And then can you lift up above the support? Can you lift up above the support? So not to rest on the support, but lift up higher than the support. Toenails up to the ceiling, thighs up. That's it. Nice, Sherry. Yeah, that's it. Good. Do 2 times. We have to repeat, right? And what are the effects of repetition? How does the pose evolve? How do we evolve when we repeat? Head up. Yeah, don't let the head drop down. Thoracic spine up. That's it, Jean. Inner heel to outer heel. Nicely done. Okay, that's the way. Yes, good. Everybody's thighs are up. Nicely done. Good. Improvement. Okay, go ahead and rest. Let the sacrum spread. Let the thighs roll inside out. Okay. Let us see. We are going to do a little frontal thigh clinic here today. So let's take, this has been a favorite of mine lately. A little bit of a curious pose. I'm not sure that it has a name, but it's one leg in Virasana, one leg in Marichiasana. So I'm going to show you my setup. You may need to tweak this to your, to customize for you, but it's a supine pose, one I've been spending a bit of time in lately. So I like to, for this one, take a few blankets and stair step them. So stair step formation here with the blankets. And like I said, I'm just showing you what works for me. You can try this and modify and adjust to customize for you. So you're making a platform here to recline on. Now you don't want your head hanging back. So you may want to have a bolster or a block or some extra blankets handy so your head isn't dangling back here. Okay, that's actually probably too much support for me. So I'm going to do like this. And this will all become clear in a moment. Okay, so something along these lines. We'll take the left leg in Virasana. Now I'm placing my sacrum just kind of on the lip of those blankets. So there's sort of a support, but a sloping support. Left leg is in Virasana, right leg is in Marichiasana. And then from here, extend from the frontal thigh to the knee and recline back. Now the tendency here is to sort of fall towards that Marichiasana leg. So if I just kind of let go, there's this collapse. So I'm going to press down with that Marichiasana heel and then extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. Okay, so get something like this. So you could be even up on a bolster with the pelvis up on a bolster, maybe even 2 bolsters lengthwise. You could work with blankets. You know, maybe for you, you can even lie flat on the floor and it works well for you that way. But we're after this length and this extension in the Virasana thigh, that Virasana hip. So whatever you need to do to make that happen. And then I'm a little bit active in this pose. So one thing I'll say, speaking of that kind of lower back pain that sometimes we get, is if I collapse in the pose, I actually feel an ache in my sacrum. But if I press through my right heel, that Marichiasana leg, and really extend up through that frontal thigh and draw my tailbone and sacrum into the body, then that's eliminated. And then I get a length and a stretch on the frontal thigh. Okay, so this may take a little experimenting. And, you know, and sometimes in a class setting, you get an idea and then you have to go back and work with it in your own practice. So if you don't get it exactly right today, don't be discouraged. But if you're interested in working on lengthening out those frontal thighs, this will be a helpful pose for you. So it's worth experimenting with. Okay. Yeah, good. So steer with that right heel and lengthen from that left frontal thigh to the knee. Okay, we've been there for a little bit. Let's change over, change sides. Yeah, and Sherry, for you, I'd be curious about getting your pelvis up a little bit higher on the support. So then you start to take away a little bit of that arc in the lower back and start to draw that sacrum in. So it's sort of like in Supta Virasana, you know, we can do with the buttocks on the floor and then arcing over a support, or we can take with a little something underneath the buttocks, and then that will teach that sacrum and tailbone to come in, and then we'll start to get more access to the length in the frontal groin. So just try that. So now let's change over.
So Greta, should I put more height under there or less? Because I actually just felt good. I didn't feel anything on my frontal thigh.
Yeah. Try getting your try less height and try getting your pelvis up on the support. Yeah.
Okay.
And if that doesn't do it, I mean, you could try doing the pose flat too. It's just for most people, when they try to do it flat, they end up with a really big arch in their low back, you know.
Okay.
But you know, it may work for you to do this pose flat on the floor. That can be the case. All right, and then extend from that right frontal thigh to the knee. Don't let yourself collapse in this pose. Draw the top buttock down away from the lumbar spine. Yeah, and if you're not feeling anything here, if this is like nothing, try doing less support. You could even try flat on the floor and then see what happens. But just like when we do Supta Virasana, you know, if you can do flat on the floor, that's fine, right? But you don't want to do flat on the floor and end up with a big arc in your lumbar spine. That looks good, Liat. Hopefully, does that feel okay for you? Okay, it looks nice. Yeah, it looks like a nice shape where I like that you're really getting a good opening on that frontal groin area. It doesn't look like the buttocks is dropping down. Yeah, Jean and Marion, that looks good. Hopefully we're all, yeah, that's good, Sherry. And then Sherry, try to get more on your center shin of your Virasana leg, and that's for everybody. So try to get more on that middle shin, center of the top, center top of the foot. Okay, just a little bit longer here. So, you know, this is something maybe to experiment a little bit more in your own practice too. Okay, and then carefully come on out. Good. And let's just get those legs extended straight. Okay, good. All right, moving right along here. Now you're going to take a variation of Ekapada Bakasana. So we worked with Ekapada Bakasana moments ago. Now we're going to work in a little bit more of an intensive way with that pose. So best to have your setup on a sticky mat. You're going to put your chair face down. Now give it a little test here. Make sure that it doesn't, make sure you have your chair positioned in such a way that it's not going to collapse on you. And then, now if you only have one sticky mat, you'll see, it'll make sense. I just want you to, I don't want the chair sliding away from you. And then also we want to have padding for the seat of the chair and padding for the bar of the chair. So you could put your chair on a sticky mat and just use a couple blankets. But if you have an extra sticky mat, you're going to place that over the seat of the chair. So this way my chair won't slide and I'm creating padding, which you'll see why in a moment. And then, yeah, just have the chair in the middle of the room or in the middle of the mat. Don't have it at the wall. And then you're going to take another blanket over that back bar of the chair. Okay. Now this is a variation of Ekapada Bakasana. So we'll take the right leg back first. You're going to put that right knee on that inner lip of the seat of the chair, and then the right top foot on the bar of the chair. Now, this leg, it's going to be the shin is parallel, right? So if you're working on like Ekapada Rajakapotasana 2, if anybody works on those poses, you know that that heel is actually way far in that pose. But we're working on Bakasana, so that leg is out. The shin is perpendicular. And then from here, you're going to draw up on the frontal hippos, draw that top buttock down. And you can hang out here, press that buttock into the heel, work on drawing the outer thigh to the outer hip. And then if that's all going well, you can start to lift that back leg up and then draw that heel in towards the buttock. Okay, so your turn. Go ahead and come on in. Yeah, and so first just hang out here in the upright position. Extend from that frontal thigh to the knee. Draw that, the leg that's out, that left leg, draw the outer knee to the outer hip. And then frontal hip bones up, top buttock down, sacrum and tailbone in. So especially those of us who are quite flexible in the lumbar spine, we have to, you know, steer away from this kind of action, right? But work to keep that top buttock down, sacrum and tailbone in. Okay, and then if this is all going well, you can use those hands. So aren't these arms like Bakasana arms, right? So then you're going to draw those legs of the chair toward you, draw that. You're going to lift the back seat of the chair. That's it. But don't let yourself lean forward to do this. So sacrum in to do this. Yeah. Sacrum in, frontal hips up, draw that heel in toward the buttock. Okay, good. And then change over, change sides. Does anybody not feel that in their front thighs? Okay. Yes, I think these quadriceps, these front thighs, I don't know about you. I find that they get very tight. So we need to get after them on a regular basis. Okay, so give yourself a moment to get organized here. That front leg, the shin is perpendicular. The back leg, the heel just touches that like middle outer buttock area. And then have the hands on the upper legs of the chair, draw the shoulders back. So it's like Bakasana, right? It's a variation of Bakasana. All right, and then you can lift that back seat of the chair and then take yourself forward. This may intensify that sensation in the frontal thigh. And keep that sacrum and tailbone in, frontal hips up. Oh, you have a very cute little canine friend there, Jean. So cute. Okay, nice. Yeah, sacrum in, tailbone in. Okay, release. Okay, now this is something you could definitely repeat a couple times, right side, left side, in your own practice, but I want to keep us moving along. So now you're going to come to the wall. We're going to take another variation of Bakasana, Ekapada Bakasana. So you're going to come to the wall, have some padding for your knees. So I suggest having your sticky mat and a blanket at the wall because you're going to kneel. And then kneeling up close to the wall, you're going to bend that right leg. And then just like doing Bakasana, you're going to turn the arm like a Chaturanga Dandasana arm and extend from the frontal thigh to the knee and lift up on the front body. Okay, so Ekapada Bakasana kneeling. This should work a little bit on those shoulders too. So we are highlighting the lower body today, the groin area, frontal thigh area, but this should work on the shoulders too. Now, if this isn't working for your shoulders to turn the arm, you can just hold like this. This works as well with the fingers down. But if you can add that Bakasana hold, then you do that. Okay, so alternatively, you can work just this way and you'll still get that length on the frontal thigh. Good, and then just do a couple times right side, left side, your own timing. Yeah, good. Other way, facing the wall. Yeah. Although we're doing that next. So you're one step ahead. So do a couple times, right side, left side. Good. Okay. Now let's take just one Ustrasana. So since you're already there, we're prepared for Ustrasana. Be close into the wall. Take your hands to the top buttock. Draw the top buttock down. Take the back ribs, middle back ribs in and up. Keep that lumbar spine long. So how do you keep the lumbar spine long? You press into the shins. You draw that top buttock down. Keep the hands on the top buttock. Back ribs in and up. And then from there, arc back, Ustrasana. Outer thighs to the wall, pelvis to the wall, back ribs in and up. Good. Pelvis forward. You can take the hands back to the feet. Yeah, do a couple times. That's it, Marianne. Nice. Yeah, do a couple times. So start by taking the hands to the top buttock, drawing that top buttock down, back ribs in and up. And then you can take the hands to the soles of the feet. Now, alternately, you could just work with this with the hands on the wall too, right? Pelvis forward, outer thighs forward. So you don't have to put the hands on the feet. You could work with the hands on the wall. That's what Leah, back ribs in and up. Inner heels to outer heels, like Dhanurasana. Don't let the heels cave in on you. Nice, Sherry. Nice, Marianne. Okay, good. And then come out. Okay. Let's take a quick downward dog just to lengthen things out, flush things out. Let's do heels at the wall, downward dog. Hands to the center of the room, heels at the wall, downward dog. Center back heel at the wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Press that center heel to the wall. It can be on the heels can be on the floor or not. But what is the effect of having those legs at the wall? What does that do for your pose? Okay, and then go ahead and come on out. Good. Okay. Get 2 bolsters. If you don't have 2 bolsters, you can roll up a couple of blankets to replace one of the bolsters. So get 2 bolsters and then have a couple of blankets. And I'll show you what we're doing. Just have a few blankets handy. Okay, so one bolster is the bottom bolster is going to be lengthwise. You're going to sit on the front end of that bolster. The other bolster, you're going to put horizontal ways. And then this is where you're going to have to, again, just, customize per your body. So then you're going to pile up a few blankets. So you can think of this like a variation of Paryankasana, couch pose. The legs are in Virasana. You're going to sit on that front end of the bolster. So sitting on the bottom bolster. And then from here, you're going to arc back. So for this one, the buttocks is down. So it's like Paryankasana, the roots of the thighs down, the buttocks are down. And then you're going to arc over and take the hands overhead. Okay, so get something like this. So I find that 2 bolsters and then piling a couple blankets over the bolster works well. If you only have 1 bolster, then you can maybe roll some blankets up for the bottom one. You could throw a pillow even over here. So just work with what you've got. But the shape we're after, I think we all know Paryankasana, couch pose. So the shape we're after is the buttocks is down, the roots of the thighs are down, and then we're arcing up and over. Okay, and then you're sitting on that front end of the bolster. And then, of course, again, we're getting this length of the frontal thighs to the knee. So think about all the poses. What are all the poses where you have frontal thigh to knee extension? You could do a long practice just working on that. Yeah, and then reach those arms overhead. Nice. Okay, this is looking good, folks who are in the pose. So, when we do Supta Virasana, we're going for more of a flat, extended spine. Here, this is more of a Paryankasana shape. So it's a back bend. So we want that spine, that arcing shape of the spine. And then extend from the frontal thigh to the knee. And then can you work with those shins and work with those feet to be more on the center front shin and the center front of the foot? Yeah. Okay, just a little bit longer here. I'm letting everybody get their setup. Now, if at any point this work becomes is not serving you, you can always revert to a Supta Virasana with a lengthwise bolster or a Supta Swastikasana with a lengthwise bolster. So I'm just putting